Good morning, students. Yesterday we discussed about the chapter number 2, diversity and discrimination. The topic was difference and prejudice. Today we will discuss about inequality and discrimination. So let us see. Discrimination happens when people act on their prejudice or stereotypes. If you do something and put other people down, if we stop them from taking part in certain activities and taking up jobs, or stop them from living in certain neighborhoods, prevent them from taking water from the same well or hand pump, or not allow them to drink tea in the same cups or glasses as others, you are discriminating against them. Okay? Discrimination and equality means you show superiority of yourself and the others is not so equal to you. This kind of behavior is called inequality. Discrimination can take place because of several reasons. You probably recall from the previous chapter that and Samir EK and Samir too were different from each other in many ways. For example, they belong to different religions. This is an aspect of diversity. We should think about these things like diversity. However, this diversity can also be a source of discrimination. Where there is diversity, there could be a chance of discrimination also. This all thing depends upon the attitude of you, what kind of perception you receive. If you think negatively upon the diversity, you can behave as a discrimination. But if you think positively and think that these things are the aspect of our development, so you could not behave like this. Okay? Groups of people who may speak in certain language, follow a particular reason, live in a specific reason, etc., may be discriminated against as their customs or practices may be seen as inferior. Inferior. This kind of behavior is not good. Another different difference between the two Samirs was in their economic background. Samir Du was poor. This difference, as you have read earlier, is not a form of diversity but a sometimes there could be a diversity, but this diversity is not a part of our national good thing. People who are poor do not have the resources or the money to meet their basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. They experience discrimination in offices, in hospitals, schools, etc. Some kind, some kind of uh, evils exist in our society. That is poverty. That is casteism. On this basis of behavior, if anybody do is not good. Some people may experience both kinds of discrimination. They are poor and they belong to a group whose culture is not valued. Tribals, some religious groups, and even particular reason are discriminated against for one or more of these. Sometimes tribals were behaved in a discriminating way, and this is only the basis of their culture, their beliefs. That is not so much important for others. In the following section, we will look at how a famous Indian was discriminated against. This will help us understand the ways in which caste was used to discriminate against large numbers of people. Sometimes, on the basis of caste, people behave in a discriminating way. This is also not a part of diversity. This is called discrimination. A common stereotype about some Muslims is that they are not interested in educating girls and therefore do not send girls to school. This is a stereotype behavior that Muslims are not interested to educate their girls. However, studies have now shown that poverty amongst Muslims is an important reason why Muslim girls do not attend school or drop out from school after a few years. Poverty is also an important reason. Wherever effort has been made to reach education to the poor, there the Muslim community has shown an interest in sending their girls to school. Okay? Sometimes, if we take some steps to remove poverty, the result would be good. For example, in the state of Kerala, the distance between the school and the home is not much. There is a good government bus service that helps teachers reach schools in rural areas, and over 60% of the teachers are women. If there is more than half staffs are women, and if the distance of the school is so far, so there is a need of bus services also. These factors have helped children from poorer families, including Muslim, attend school in much larger numbers. If you provide bus services, the number of students could be increased. In other states where such efforts have not been made, children from poorer families, whether Muslim, tribal, or so-called lower caste, find it difficult to attend school. Where there is not such kind of bus services, the number of students is uh, so less in schools. Therefore, poverty, not religion, is the cause for non-attendance of Muslim girls in school. So, if we see the fact about Muslim girls, there is poverty, the main reason not send girls to school. Some people may experience both kinds of discrimination. They are poor and being discriminated against. People are engaged in different kinds of work in teaching, carpentry, pottery, weaving, fishing, farming, etc. The other kind of situation is here. If the people, their occupation, carpentry, pottery, weaving, fishing, farming, etc., to earn a livelihood. However, certain kind of work are valued more than others. On the basis of occupation, if anybody behaved discriminated, it is also called that discrimination is on the basis of occupation. Activities like cleaning, washing, cutting hair, picking garbage are seen as tasks that are of less value, and people who do this work are seen as dirty or evil. So this is also the reality of our society that some kind of work like cleaning, washing, cutting hair is thought less value work in our society. So the result is those who are working such kind of work are behaved discriminated. Okay, this belief is an important aspect. This belief is an important aspect of the caste system. In the caste system, communities, group of people were placed in a sort of ladder where each caste was either above or below. This is also the aspect of caste system because some castes are supposed to do some specific job and some castes are supposed to be in a higher place in society. So this is called ladder. Okay. Those who place themselves at the top of this ladder call themselves upper caste, who suppose themselves that we are on the top of the society. They call themselves upper caste and saw themselves as superior. The groups who were placed at the bottom of the ladder were seen as unworthy and called untouchable. One box is here. Dalit is a term that people belonging to so-called lower caste use to address themselves. In our society, Dalit is supposed the lowest position in our society. They prefer this word to untouchable, अछूत जिसे कहते हैं. Dalit means those who have been Dalit, broken. It means in our history or in the previous time in our society, the Dalit society was brutally behaved by the upper caste And the result, the total life system were broken. That's why we call them Dalit. This word, according to Dalit, shows how social prejudices and discrimination have broken the Dalit people, broken the Dalit total life system of Dalit has broken. The government refers to this group of people as scheduled caste, SC, scheduled caste. It means some castes is under a special list for those the government plant in a special way. That's why the discrimination not be done for them. Caste rules were set which did not allow the so-called untouchable to take on work other than what they were meant to do. For example, some groups were forced to pick garbage and remove dead animals from the village, but they were not allowed to enter the homes of the upper castes or take water from the village well or even enter temples. This paragraph is very important. Caste rules were set which did not allow the so-called untouchable to take on work other than what they were meant to do. Caste system is very strict. For example, some groups were forced to pick garbage. Some groups were forced to pick garbage and remove dead animals from the village. This kind of people were not allowed to enter home others and although they are not allowed to go in public convenience like village pond, okay? And sometimes they were not allowed to enter in a temple. Their children could not sit next to children of other caste in school. Their children also discriminated in school. Thus, upper castes acted in a ways which did not give the so-called untouchable the same rights as a this kind of behavior is not good and this is called discrimination. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, one of the greatest leaders of India, shares his first experience of caste-based discrimination, which took place in 1901 when he was just 9 years. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar experienced the discrimination in his children, in his childhood. He had gone with his brothers and cousins to meet his father in Koregaon, which is now in Maharashtra. This is the part of that book. Long did we wait, but no one turned up. An hour elapsed, and the station master came to him. It means, long did we wait. They waited for the train, and after 1 hour, the station master came to inquire us. He asked us for our tickets. We showed them to him. He asked us why we tarried. We told him that we were bound for Koregaon and that we were waiting for father or his servant to come, but that neither had turned up and that we did not know how to reach Korea. They told the station master that we are going to Koregaon. We were well dressed children. From our dress, our talk, no one could read. Of that, we were children of the unbelievers. Okay? This is the experience of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Indeed, the station master was quite sure we were Brahmin children and was extremely touched at the plight in which he found us. As is usual among the Hindus, the station master asked us who we were. The station master inquired that, who are you? Without a moment's thought, I blurted out that we were Mahars. Mahars. Blurted out it means declared very clearly. Mahar is one of the communities which were treated as untouchables in the Bombay Presidency. On those days, the Mahar caste is behaved as untouchables in Maharashtra. Here is also a saint being made to sit separately in the classroom because of one's background is a form of discrimination. Two students is being sitting here separated. This is also called a discrimination on the basis of caste. He was stunned. He was astonished. His face, behalf, his face underwent a sudden change. The color of that man has gone fade. We could see that he was overpowered by a strange feeling of repulsion. Means Pashchattap, Glani. As soon as he heard my reply, he went away to his home, and we stood where we were. When the station master reached his room, we we stand from a place and go to other other way. This is all for today, students. I like to finish this chapter in next session, next class. Okay, thank you.